Here's an example of calculating a ratio using trig functions. Sine A. A is our theta. I put the symbol by A to let me know that that's theta. That's the angle we're looking at. What's right across from theta is 12. That's our opposite. Label that. The 90-degree angle is pointing at that hypotenuse over there, 13. Label that. And the last side is adjacent. That's labeled, which is 5. Step 2 says use the formula that's given to you to create the ratio. So sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite is 12, hypotenuse is 13. Bada boom, got our ratio. Cosine A. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Adjacent is 5, hypotenuse is 13. Boom, got our ratio, 5 over 13. And then tan, the function lets us know it's always going to be opposite over adjacent. Our opposite is 12, our adjacent is 5. Bada boom, bada bing, it's done data. We got all our trigonometric ratios by following the steps. Now we don't have to reduce in step 3 because these fractions are to its smallest form. It didn't ask us to convert it into a decimal, so I'm not going to do that as well.
I'm Jelly Pink Power Ranger, and you have the power.
We're going to use those 3 steps we just talked about to find the missing side of this right triangle. Step 1, we need to label our sides. I see theta, which is angle 53. What's across of it is x, and then our hypotenuse is 5. Well, the information that they gave us is the opposite and the hypotenuse. Step 2 is letting us know that we are going to use sine. Sine theta, which is 53, equals opposite x over hypotenuse, 5. And finally, we got to solve it. We got to get tricky with it. And from that video, they let us know that when x is up high, you multiply. So in the calculator, you just do 5 times sine 53, and it's going to give you an irrational number, and here we rounded it to the nearest whole number. Thank you, Miss Stuffin's grandma, for looking at the problem closely and making sure I did everything right. We're going to use the following 3 steps to find the missing angle of our last triangle, which is Triangle Bay. Speaking of Bay, ain't he cute in the picture? Well, step 1, we got to identify those sides. We always identify the sides. Angle A, where theta is. I don't have any information for the opposite, but we got information for the hypotenuse over there and the adjacent side. That leads me to step 2. Because I have the adjacent and the hypotenuse, we're going to use cosine me mine. Now, let's put in the equation. Cosine theta, which I don't know, equals adjacent 12 over hypotenuse. When looking for an angle, you always use the trig inverse. So we have cosine. We're going to use cosine inverse with the ratio 12 over 13. Put that in the calculator. We're going to get an irrational number. We're going to round it and get about 23 degrees for that missing angle. Thanks to the Geometry Squad for putting this pamphlet together. Now we know how to use trig to find missing sides and missing angles.